We are going to practice calculating independent probability one more time. So on slide 2, there's a few events that you'll be working with. We have a spinner, a die, a coin, and 3 cards. Not a whole deck, only these 3. So on the next slide, you have to find the probability of different events. So rather than writing out the word probability, you can shorten that with just the letter P and then putting what you want inside of parentheses. Once you find the probability, you're going to find the answer on this next slide and fill it in with the letter over here on the left. So an example, this first one says spinning a 3. So if you're going to be spinning, there's 1 3 out of 4 options, so that would be 1/4. Then rolling a 4. So for rolling, a die has 6 sides. One of those 6 sides is the number 4, so that would be 1/6. Right, if you get stuck, these are also your answer choices over here. So 1/4 times 1/6 would be this one. So you can click and drag it over here if you'd like. And then you just have to find the final answer. 1 times 1 is 1. And then 4 times 6 is 24. You don't necessarily have to type this here if you don't want to, but then you'll find this fraction on the next page and you'll fill it in with the letter N. So 1/24 is the letter N. If the number appears more than once, you'll repeat that letter. All right, let's try another one. Letter M. The probability of getting tails. So for flipping a coin, one of those 2 sides is tails, so 1/2. Then drawing a 2. Drawing means we're drawing a card. The 2 is one of the 3 cards, so 1/3. So 1/2 times 1/3. And when you click and drag these, don't go to where the numbers are. As you can see the cursor, go over to like the side where you see the arrow. And then you can slide that on up. So 1/2 times 1/3 is 1/6. So you go to the next slide and you find 1/6 and fill it in with the letter M. All right, that one only appears once. Let's do one more. Let's do one towards the bottom. Hey, let's do letter A down here. Spinning a factor of 8. A factor is a number that you could divide into 8. So you could divide 8 by 1, you could divide it by 2, you could divide it by 4, and you can divide it by 8. Okay, so let's go back to the spinner. You could divide 8 by 1. You can divide 8 by 2. You can't divide 8 by 3. You can divide 8 by 4. So we can divide 8 by these 3 factors. So 3 out of 4 of those numbers would work. Okay, then I'm just going to quickly type that one in. Rolling a number greater than 2. So for rolling a die, there's 6 sides. A number greater than 2 would be 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 4 of the numbers. So 4/6. All right, so most likely it's going to be this one. But let's just double check. Drawing a heart will be 1, 2 of the 3 cards. So 2/3. And these will most likely be out of the way if we went in order. And then if we were to multiply, we have 3 times 4 times 2 on top. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So it'll be 24 on top. I'm just going to show my work down here for a moment, and you can always use scratch paper too. And then on the bottom, we have 4 times 6, which is 24. And then 24 times 3, which would be 72. Okay, and then we'd have to reduce. You could divide each one by 2, but you might also know that some number of days is 72 hours. You've most likely heard that number before. So if you were to take a calculator and do 72 divided by 24, it's actually 3. So 24 divided by 24 is 1, and 72 divided by 24 is 3. So it end up being 1/3. So 1/3 is for letter A. So whenever we see 1/3, it's the letter A.